Welcome to the Google Cloud Update for the week of May 29th, 2026. I'm your host, and we have an absolutely massive lineup of updates for you today. We are talking about a major pivot in AI agents with the deprecation of Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform extensions in favor of the unified agent platform. Gemini Enterprise itself is bringing some incredibly cool new features like Core Assistant and Slack data stores. Over in Analytics, we'll dive into the brand new Looker 26.8 release, which is jam-packed with Gemini features, in-database semantic models, and conversational dashboards. We'll also explore the general availability of the BigQuery data science agent, Spanner Graph's new suite of built-in graph algorithms, and huge GKE bare metal and machine learning tracking updates. Whether you are an infrastructure guru, a data scientist, or a security engineer, there is something major in here for you. Let's get right into it. Let's kick things off with AI. First, a heads up on deprecations. The Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform extensions, formerly known as Vertex AI extensions, is officially deprecated. It will completely shut down after November 26th, 2026. To avoid any service disruptions, Google strongly recommends migrating to the main agent platform. Change is constant, but this upgrade is worth it. Why? Because Gemini Enterprise has officially launched its Core Assistant into general availability. Core Assistant is a Google-provided root agent that handles fallback interactions when users chat with the Gemini Enterprise app without specifying a specific agent. Even better, it now has trace and metrics tabs in public preview. If you use OpenTelemetry trace and logging, you can visualize the entire execution flow, inputs, outputs, and tool call durations with absolutely zero extra billing costs. We always like free observability. Also reaching general availability in Gemini Enterprise is the Slack data store. You can now link a Slack workspace to search and read conversations and files, and even send or schedule messages directly from the Gemini Enterprise chat box. For you PagerDuty users, a PagerDuty data store is now in public preview. And admins now have a feature toggle to turn the Gemini 3.5 Flash model on or off in the chat box, giving you full control over what your team uses. Next up, let's talk BigQuery and Colab Enterprise. The Data Science Agent, or DSA, is now generally available. This agent automates exploratory data analysis, runs machine learning tasks, and delivers insights right inside your Colab Enterprise notebooks. And a quick win for document processing. Layout Parser image and table annotations is generally available in both Document AI and Agent Search. If the parser finds an image or a table, it automatically generates a descriptive text block summing up that content, which is then perfectly structured to be used as a grounding source for generated answers. Moving on to Looker and Analytics, where Looker version 26.8 is rolling out with an incredible array of new capabilities. First up, Looker Continuous Integration, or CI, is now generally available. This makes robust development workflows much smoother. Looker is also introducing a preview of in-database analytic models for BigQuery and Snowflake. This integrates Looker directly with BigQuery Graph and Snowflake semantic views. This means you can keep your semantic definitions consistent across Looker and other tools accessing your data warehouse. Under Snowflake connections, Looker now supports self-service explorers in preview, letting users upload CSV or Excel files to spin up quick explores. Gemini in Looker is also getting several new preview features. First, agentic workflows lets you use natural language to tell a conversational analytics data agent to notify you when your data meets specific conditions. Second, you can now publish your Looker conversational analytics data agents directly to Gemini Enterprise. Third, you can run these data agents directly on user-defined dashboards. And check this out. Looker now has a Looker Managed Model Context Protocol, or MCP, server in preview. This lets AI agents connect securely to your Looker instance without needing any separate middleware. Admins can manage allowed AI tools right from the new MCP page in the admin panel. For dashboards, dashboard editors can now use granular dashboard sizing in preview to resize and lay out tiles with much more control. Tabbed dashboards also got massive upgrades, including navigation buttons, duplicating tabs, selecting or deselecting all tiles for filters, and downloading or scheduling specific tabs. Speaking of database permissions, we have some IAM updates. For Big Lake, the Big Lake editor role gets the biglake.catalogs.update permission. The BigQuery data transfer service agent role gets the knowledge catalog.entrygroups.get permission. Knowledge catalog is, of course, the new name for Dataplex. Lastly, the Dataproc service agent, under its new name, Managed Service for Apache Spark, gets the biglake.catalogs.get permission. Next, let's look at databases and migrations. For Spanner Graph, we have a major preview feature, a suite of built-in graph algorithms. This covers critical use cases like fraud detection, entity resolution, and recommendation engines. You can invoke these algorithms as built-in function calls inside your Spanner Graph queries and output the results directly to cloud storage or Spanner. For Bigtable, Enterprise Plus Edition users can now configure backup retention periods up to 365 days. This is now generally available, giving you a full year of point-in-time recovery headroom. Cloud SQL has officially moved several blue-green deployment permissions to general availability, including cloudsql.bluegreen-deployments.create, delete, get, list, and switchover. This gives you granular IAM control over zero-downtime database upgrades. Database migration service Homogeneous SQL Server migrations now support Cloud SQL for SQL Server sources as generally available. It automatically exports all required backups and uploads them directly to cloud storage, making the migrations entirely hands-off. And a quick region update. Oracle database at Google Cloud has expanded. Australia Southeast 2A in Melbourne and Europe West 8 in Milan, Italy are now live. Now, let's talk about GKE, infrastructure, and networking. First, GKE cluster versions have been updated across all channels, carrying cumulative container-optimized OS security patches. But let's focus on the massive new GKE features. C4A bare metal instances are now generally available with GKE clusters, giving you ultra-low latency physical hardware control for ARM workloads. Confidential GKE nodes now support cluster-level enablement of AMD SEV-SNP and Intel TDX on GKE Autopilot. For network logging in version 1.36 and later, you can configure cloud logging directly for Layer 4 load balancer backend services using the L4LB config custom resource definition. Also, Cloud Storage Fuse CSI driver is now supported for dedicated clusters and node pools running GKE version 1.36.0 or higher. For machine learning developers, GKE introduced two new system metrics in preview to track job set training efficiency. Job set scheduling goodput, which measures the fraction of time all required resources are available, and proxy runtime goodput, which estimates active accelerator utilization. Over in App Engine Standard now has a preview feature for the App Engine Bundled Services field. This lets you selectively enable only the legacy bundled services you actually need, greatly improving your app security and maintainability. Moving on to Managed Service for Apache Airflow, formerly known as Cloud Composer, a new release has started rolling out. It officially supports Google Cloud tags for environments, so you can conditionally apply security policies. Gen 3 environments can now create Kubernetes secrets with the Docker config JSON secret type via the Beta API. Airflow 3 users will be happy to hear that the info log level UI display bug is now fixed. Also, take note. Composer APIs are no longer auto-enabled when you activate the Cloud Composer API on new projects, so be sure to update your deployment scripts. In networking, for global external application load balancers, you can now configure Cloud CDN cache policies at various levels of a URL map, giving you granular caching rules based on host names, paths, headers, and query parameters. This is generally available. We also have preview support for incoming IPv6 traffic front-end configurations across multiple regional and cross-region application and proxy network load balancers. Plus, application load balancers now support short or long back-end traffic duration settings and in-flight balancing modes in general availability. For observability, regional endpoints are now visible in the REST reference for cloud logging, cloud trace, and error reporting. Cloud Trace in Observability Analytics is GA, meaning you can query and analyze trace data with SQL, join trace and log data, and link to BigQuery. Even cooler, remote model context protocol servers for BigQuery and Cloud SQL will now automatically generate trace spans for tools/call operations to help you debug your AI agent calls. Finally, let's wrap up with security, operations, and contact center updates. For Security Command Center, the risk engine now detects toxic combinations related to managed service for Apache Spark, including the Lightning engine. Risk reports also have updated, richer content in the introduction and system attack exposure sections. In Google SecOps, the Chronicle Organization's service agent role is now generally available. SecOps also introduced a new standard parser support policy to improve stability and predictability, migrating low-use pre-built parsers to a community GitHub repository. Assured Workloads users on the Japan data boundary can now set default key access justifications policies at the organizational, folder, or project level in general availability. In Contact Center, Advanced Reporting Dashboards version 4.22 is live, adding a location filter to several real-time dashboards and improving the queue performance views. CCAA version 4.35 has also rolled out, addressing bugs where agents got stuck in call status or couldn't upload PDF files. And that is a wrap for this week's Google Cloud Update. From Spanner graph algorithms to Looker's managed MCP server, Google Cloud is giving developers incredibly powerful tools to build secure, data-driven agentic applications. Be sure to check out the official release notes for specific Kubernetes version numbers and detailed configuration steps. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, and we will see you next week on the Google Cloud Update.